here you go. This is why golf reflects life. Are you going to walk up and just deal with what you got? Are you going to trust God in it? Are you going to fight him? Are you going to be mad? He could have walked up and thrown his hands up and just been like, this. And he's like, no, I'll take care of it. Let's do it.
Yeah. All right. I always say that. All right. Welcome back to the Restoration Club podcast, season 4, episode 6. Danny, how we living?
We're doing well, man. We're doing well.
Yeah.
It's been really fun to jump into some more conversations with some great guys in the game, guys that are well familiar with Restoration Club. So excited to get another one under the belt here.
Agree with that completely. Have you, to keep it real, have you been golfing it at all lately? What have you been up to? Let me tell me about your last couple rounds.
Yeah, so I had the opportunity. I was just in Hilton Head, got a chance to play. I guess what they said was a restored Harbor Town golf links. I didn't really see a ton of change, but man, that place is incredible.
Yeah.
It's a good time. I know it's a fan favorite amongst the PGA Tour guys, and tiny greens, really interesting looks, but it's a fun spot. Yeah, I got to play there, and another spot called Heron Point down in Hilton Head.
Awesome.
Man, never disappointed.
And I can't believe you shot 12 under at Harbor Town. That was crazy.
It's crazy.
Unbelievable. Good. Well done, guys. Don't fact check.
You got to go low every once in a while.
That's right. You got to. That's good. And I just listen for those who are on our audio audience. This won't make any sense, but I am rocking a Buick Open lid representing
Classic.
Warwick Hills Country Club in Grand Blanc, Michigan. Shout out to the Buick Open and eBay for helping me find this amazing lid. So if you get on our YouTube channel, you'll be able to see this iconic hat and the ever-evolving mustache.
I was going to say, I know we just got through World Cup, but have you been riding the Lasso vibes? Is that what we're doing?
We're just focused on positive energy, and sometimes that involves whiskers. I think that's a life lesson.
Just believe, man. Just believe.
Just we're believing everything. Hallelujah. But no, today's a special day in the clubhouse. We will have our friend Troy Knight, photo extraordinaire, photographer extraordinary, all around good guy, is going to really chop up some great stories for us. We're excited about letting you hear the amazing travels and adventures he's been a part of, but also like how he got into this thing and how he got into the game and all the ways that we've kind of seen the world move that he's been a part of. So, and if you're a Dodgers fan, you're going to love it too, because he gets to talk Dodgers for a while because he's a big LA guy. So it's pretty cool. Just enjoy the time now with Troy, and we will catch you on the next side. All right, guys, we're in the clubhouse. We're excited. It's been a great, I feel like, few weeks, few days. I know we're talking about the sweltering heat of I feel like it doesn't matter where you live in this country / world. It feels really hot everywhere. We've been talking moisture wicking a lot lately. So we're all about that life as we go. But we are excited here in season 4, episode 6. To be hanging out with our guy, Troy Knight, the Knight Rider, Michael Knight. We're going to give him a bunch of nicknames we don't even realize that they exist yet. But Troy, thanks for spending time with us and kind of chopping it up here in the clubhouse just to kind of get the whole thing rolling. Can you give a little breakdown of kind of who you are and kind of what you're up to these days?
Yeah. No, thanks for having me. I'm stoked to hang out with you guys and chill and catch up and all of the above. But my name's Troy. I am born and raised here in the beautiful city of Los Angeles, just north of Los Angeles in Santa Clarita. Just kind of your regular old dude, but I happen to have a camera in my hand quite a bit. And so that's gotten me to get to some cool places. And I think that's really where our friendship is, flourished, is because of that aspect. So I am I do construction full time, and then I'm also a photographer, professional photographer in the golf space. Is probably the best way to put it. Or if Danny's involved, then sometimes with the Dodgers, which is pretty cool. So that's all, that's all happenstance stuff. But
we'll probably get into that a little down the road.
Yeah, I think we have to. That was a pretty cool experience. But yeah, just born and raised here. Don't plan on leaving as of right now, and thankful to be here, thankful to be alive, all the above.
Well, as a Dodgers being my third favorite team, You know how I roll. That's how I get down. It's been, you know, as much as I love the golf content, I have loved it so much, Troy. Like that baseball stuff was just bonkers, man. Like I'm like, am I the biggest Dodgers fan now? Am I just about it? Am I feeling the energy? Like I'm cheering with you.
I felt like I was on a postseason run in LA. That's for
it was
sure.
crazy. I've never experienced, and I'm like, it's not like this team has been terrible. Like it's like but
they're
it's
pretty good.
LA.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm like, this is wild. I've catch myself really in on it. So, what's been the baseball vibe for you over the past couple years?
It's been pretty good. I played a little bit of baseball as a kid. Like I played t-ball, and that was really about it. You and I have obviously gone back and forth a lot about hockey. You played hockey through most of my, formative years. And baseball has just kind of been one of those things where I think, it is like the hangout sport. It is the kill time sport. And as I got older in life, like being able to put that on, have Vince Scully talking in the background. I mean, we were so, blessed to have that. Even when the Dodgers sucked, like it was still great. And so then, you'd get on into all these traditions and the postseasons and all that kind of stuff. We had a lot of postseason runs, yelling at the TV in 2017 that somebody's cheating. And, sure enough, we were right. Sorry, anybody from Houston. Not sorry. But yeah, the last few years have been pretty cool. The cool thing, LA is such a transplant city. Both my parents, or my mom is born and raised here. My dad, from upstate New York, and then moved here when he was like, elementary school. So basically locals. Both me and my brother born here. It's transplant city. Like we're rare in reality, like the Kings, when they won, it was cool, but then all of a sudden everybody was a Kings fan. But like before that, nobody was a Kings fan. You know what I mean? Obviously we have the Lakers that's got a pretty good, fan base, and the Dodgers is a good fan base, but like you never felt like a city pride with any of those championships. And I felt like the last 2 years, especially last year, was like insane city pride. Like there was a buzz. Obviously we just saw like probably city pride on steroids with like the Knicks, that whole thing in New York. But like that was a really cool experience just to be a part of. Cause again, LA, it's like the Rams win and people kind of cared, but it's like, yeah, they're from here, but they're not really from here because they went to St. Louis and I don't care about them, so it's been a fun few years to be a Dodgers fan, obviously, because they're very good. And then also just to be a part of the city as all that's happening.
Why do you think that pride popped up like that over the, especially this past year? Why do you think that really came to seems like a big head?
It's a good question. I can't really put my finger on one thing. I think Fernando Valenzuela passing away in 24 probably had a little bit to do with it. That was kind of, again, like if you know anything about the Dodgers, the whole like Chavez Ravine thing, not a great thing overall. And obviously when he came, the whole Hispanic community, that really pulled them into the Dodgers. So I think there was just kind of like a general coming togetherness about that kind of raised that level. And then just like, then literally having probably, I'm going to argue, the best World Series of all time, last year. And just kind of like doing it the right way, I guess, like just kind of like gritty, just went out and won the games however you could. I think that was kind of the cool thing. There was like kind of an identity of like, we're not just flashy because we're LA. Like we're really good at this, and we're also going to do it however it takes, like, and get it done and just be gritty. Because LA sports and LA is just not a gritty place, in reality. Like it's flash and it's, showy, right? And look at the Lakers, it's like, cool, we got LeBron, now he's leaving. Who cares, So I think that's probably, in my opinion, what I think kind of changed that identity a little bit.
That's good. And Shohei doesn't hurt either. I mean, he
doesn't hurt.
He's a pretty good draw.
It's pretty cool being in the stadium, and you hear Michael Bublé come on and everybody turns, everybody pulls their phone out. I mean, it is a moment whenever he's on plate. Like, and then obviously when he pitches, it's still a moment. But like when he comes up on deck, it is a spectacle. And like, I never got to see Michael Jordan. I did get to see Wayne Gretzky a little bit as a kid. But like, it feels like the same kind of thing where we are watching a player that is generational and, yeah, it's a cool thing to see.
Yeah, good that it's yours, right?
I think Atlanta's still kicking rocks every once in a while, watching Freddie step up to the plate out there too. So
yeah.
I have some friends that are from Georgia and big Braves fans, and it is a little bit of a point of contention. I also think Freddie will probably go in the Hall of Fame with like a blank hat. I just feel like that's something he would also do. So
he does seem like that kind of guy. That's good.
Yeah.
And it's one of the Dodgers I really enjoy. I really like him. It seems like he likes baseball, and it's a game, and it's fun, and you can be a millionaire. You don't have to be a snotty brat, and he just goes after it. So it's funny because around the country, whether you know this or not, Troy, not everyone really likes LA.
That they really don't. They tend not to think we're the greatest. They think a lot of us in California have two heads.
Yeah.
Like a lot of people don't agree with most things that happen here. So yeah, we really think highly of ourselves. Not everybody thinks as highly of us as we do.
Well, the gritty part is the one that I think is really cool, and especially when we mentioned about the Dodgers, because that's something, like you said, LA has a reputation. It's glitz, it's Hollywood, it's all the Showtime stuff. And even when the Kings were winning, it was still showy with the great one on there. Those types of things are all just about flash. And but it's really cool to hear an insider talk about something that honestly they don't really put out there. They don't talk much about in the national broadcast about, the LA community really is grinding behind this city too, or behind this team. So it's cool to hear it.
Yeah.
Troy, I'm always curious to ask, and this as well as anybody, a couple of our co-founders and certainly plenty of others that are involved in Restoration Club that are creatives, whether it's photo, video, artists, whatever it might be. I'm always curious to ask, how did you find yourself with a camera in your hand, and what kind of sparked that for you?
Yeah. So it was about 15 years ago. I had a cousin that needed to sell his car, and he's like, "Hey dude, do you have a camera that you can use to help me take pictures of my car?" And so I borrowed my brother's like Canon, Rebel that he had happened to have that he'd never used. And for some reason it just kind of like sparked an interest. So, but then I really didn't do anything for probably 2 or 3 years after that. And then like, I don't know why. I think it was just one of those, like, I got my first real big boy job where I was making decent enough money to spend money that I shouldn't, and got really interested in the idea of landscape and especially astrophotography. And just kind of like went into it head first. I'm very much like if I find a hobby, I'm going to just go. So that's what I did. I really always liked camping and fishing and all that kind of stuff. We obviously have the Eastern Sierra and Mammoth and all that. For me, it's only about 3.5, 4 hours. So, away, which is pretty cool when you're into astrophotography, and was able to get out and do all of that. And that just kind of led into like, doing oddball stuff, but then kind of got burnt out on that. And I played golf for about the same time, about 15 years. I played a little bit when I was a kid. I know we'll get into that, but just kind of like literally one day, like had some buddies that I was going out with. It was like an afternoon, chase sunlight kind of thing. And I think I like just got a Peak Design clip, and I was like, let me see how this fits on my bag, and brought it and took a few photos and was like, well, it's basically like landscape photography. Like, and my buddies didn't really seem to mind. So I guess I'll do it again. And then I did it again and again and again. And, it just kind of grows from that, which is really weird. But now here I am, and I've gotten to do some pretty neat things with the camera. So.
Yeah. What have been, like, for everyone that doesn't know, tell us about some of the things you have that's in the portfolio that you've shot.
Yeah. So, I've gotten to shoot Genesis a few years, which is, obviously one of the big boy tournaments. I've gone to that tournament basically since I started golfing. Like that is a thing that I would look forward to on my calendar. So then getting to shoot for the tournament, getting to work with that team. It's me, Matty Alward, who's also another, Restoration Club buddy. So getting to do that has been really cool. Jeff has been able to get me a lot of opportunities with the LPGA, and honestly, like the LPGA is so cool. Like and I know Jeff screams it from the mountaintops too, but like to work with them is so much fun, and like it's such a family atmosphere, which is really cool. But all the players are awesome. The courses are awesome, and overall it's been a great experience. And then I've gotten to, do some cool commercial work and stuff like that because of it. I recently just did some stuff with Evan Scholars, like some people I like their similar to you guys. Like I like their mission statement. I didn't benefit from it, but like, how can I use my skill to help you guys tell your story? So yeah, it's been a good little run.
So how did you, I'm interested from taking a photo of a car, how did you learn the camera? Like, was it just practice? Did you talk to someone? How'd you go about the process?
YouTube University, baby.
Nice.
It's undefeated.
It is undefeated. No, literally like 100% self-taught. But what I always tell people whenever they want to learn photography or whatever, kind of like anything, we're always all learning, right? But the big thing is like, especially in an art or creative aspect, and I think you guys can understand with this a little bit, is like, I wouldn't say I'm necessarily like learning new skills every time I'm learning something. I'm learning a new vocabulary, and I'm learning the questions to ask. So like I am learning, I'm learning what I want to do. So then I have to basically formulate that question to find it on YouTube and look through 4 or 5 videos and then find out how I want to do that or how I can do that skill. Obviously there's like the fundamentals that's going to be a, kind of right in your face type of thing. But yeah, I mean, YouTube is like, if you kind of put your mind down to it, I will say this is totally no free ads, but, paying for YouTube premium subscription and not having to get ads is worth every penny. I pay for it every month. I watch a lot of YouTube still for everything. Not having to skip commercials or get commercials in the middle of videos is unbelievable.
And as a parent with young kids who are on the tube with certain things they can watch, I can put every filter on, but also I don't have to go and skip and wait every minute and a half for them. It is really, but you're right. When you can just consume what you need and learning, because I think it might have been our friend Jordan Green who was saying that Google or YouTube is getting close to being or surpassing search items than Google, like to a higher rate, because people are looking for the how-tos and not just the quick infos, but it's like getting more. And you can find anything in there. It's good and crazy at the same time when you think about it. But it's pretty awesome. Like it's really great.
Yeah,
that's good.
I can still hear my boys yelling, "Dad, skip!" So I'm still that guy.
Dude,
treat yourself, Danny. Treat yourself.
Sanity wise, it is. Do it. It's worth it.
Make it a business expense, Danny. Write it off.
There you go. Yeah, good call. Good call.
Yeah.
I'm gonna sound biased because I am, but I feel like all of the creatives and photographers involved in Restoration Club are some of the top in the game by far. But Troy, even some of the recent stuff, whether it's been the Dodgers postseason run or golf content or otherwise, has it surprised you kind of the response and the people that have found you?
Totally. Yeah. No, I mean, it's, I know we were talking about it a little bit kind of before, but the little community that like we have is really cool. But also part of the reason why it's so cool is it's very supportive, where like landscape photography was very territorial, and some of it I get a little bit just because like, if you go post something and you post where it is, like somebody's going to be an idiot and go out there and ruin it. Right. Where it's like in reality, most golf courses, if you're not doing something stupid, you're not going to get in trouble. But with all that being said, like you said, kind of the people that have reached out, the people I've talked to, the relationships I've built because of that, but then also like the friendships that I've made through that. I have friends across the nation, whether I've met them or not, like you guys, Danny, you and I have worked together. I mean, like all because of golf photography. It's crazy. It's silly when you really think about it. So,
yeah. Well, it's also beyond the click of the shutter, but it's really like the person behind it too. Like these are good people. I remember being at the PGA show in January and like meeting all of these guys. I'm just like, man, like what a good group of
I can
people.
hang with
like,
you too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I wanted to. I'm like, there was nothing pretentious. It was just like everyday life. Like we'd all known each other for a long time because we had a common bond in it. But there was the really good community, like you said.
Totally.
Yeah, there can always be some kind of shenanigans somewhere, but I felt like the majority of it all was so good and like welcoming and because I am no means a photographer, but I really love art and I think it's beautiful and I just consume it. I'm like, man, this is so good. It honestly does give me life. And I'm like, oh, that's why I like it. It's because I can see it doing things and I see a new angle that someone's never seen. I'll probably go back to the Dodger conversation 100 times with the stuff you did. Like I never probably saw the focal point sometimes the way you saw it. And I was like, oh, that's a really cool way to see that thing, So I just love that stuff so much.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that. And I think because we all have like the common bond of golf, and then obviously like if you're connected with Restoration Club, there's also having faith and Christianity and all of those types of things. But like I do think just in general, the whole entire community having kind of golf as the baseline, like there really is kind of like a barrier of entry of being a good person. Like, and self-policing a little bit of awareness. So I think that makes a huge difference, especially like on the creative side, that I think that it adds to that.
It's awesome.
I was going to say, to be a fly on the wall of a Dodgers game between Troy Knight, Jeff Marsh, and Joey Davison. If anybody is listening to this and hasn't seen some of that video footage and shots, man, go back and relive that game with them.
That was a pretty fun night. And then, of course, Joey goes and just does Joey things. Like Joey Davison, Jeff is obviously incredible. Like we all know that. Jeff is a good buddy, all of that. Joey just does things with the camera that all of us kind of go like, how did you get that? Like I don't, especially through like the art of video. Like video is a whole nother language I haven't really learned yet. I dabble, you want to get froggy, I'll leap, kind of thing. But I stick to photo, when the dollars are there. Right. But then Joey just shows up and go watch that Dodgers video from Joey. And it might be like the Sandlot fireworks scene is number one. Joey's video might be like one beat.
Right with it. It's crazy because it was like, I know that lately the catchphrase of like absolute cinema is a word that's used a lot, but it really was. I'm like, I'm watching
some of
it's
lipstick on a pig,
Yeah,
and then
but
we were in the documentary with the guys. Yep.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
good.
I mean, he definitely can do some cool things. And it was really neat in reality, just for me. Again, Jeff and I, we sit around and we talk about baseball all day long. But also to then be able to show both of them like this place that I love, that was really neat, and see them get stoked about little things. And then on top of that, see the fruit of that in their photos, video, all that was really cool. So it was definitely a fun night.
Troy, you've hit on whether it's hockey, following the Dodgers, LA sports in general. Let's take a step back. Where did golf come into the equation for you?
Yeah. So my dad golfed pretty much my whole life growing up. He played hockey all the way till he was 50. He played a little bit in college and then got both me and my brother into it. So we would like go to Vista Valencia. That's, the famed place where Max Homa comes out of. It's really a dump. I hate it, but it's it's basically, unfortunately, what I call home most of the time for practice. But we, grew up going there to the driving range, playing Chica here and there. Like had no interest, didn't even think about it. And then, I started riding and racing dirt bikes a lot. That ended up leading into getting into that industry for a while. And my dad was still riding with me. And then his brother actually had a pretty bad motorcycle accident. And at that point, my dad was probably 55. And I think he was just like, it kind of scared him a little bit in a good way. We all needed that, just sort of like, A, we're older, B, these things are gnarly. And he just kind of was like, I think I'm good. But that was really, one of the main outlets that me and my dad spent a lot of time together. And so once he kind of hung that up, I still worked in that industry, rode and raced a little bit here and there, not as much as I did. Cause like anything, you work in an industry, you do less of it. And then I on a whim was just kind of like, hey, maybe this golf thing is worth checking out, because at that point I was a territory sales rep. So like, it's a tool, in reality. My dad does this, like, let's do that. Probably went to the range like 3 times. I think I bought clubs, right there, like, and went full sicko mode after that.
Caught the bug. I like it.
Yeah. So then it's just kind of been nonstop since then.
What's in the bag?
Right now, a lot of clubs that don't work.
We have the same bag. That's crazy.
I was gonna say, should we check back in a couple of years? Same answer.
Yeah. Driver, tentatively, because it's been misbehaving at GT2. But I think that will probably get replaced sooner rather than later. I have like full blown driver yips that are terrifying. TSR 3 wood. I actually have a buddy building me a little Frankenstein 2-iron. Callaway X-Forged irons. Those are like the 2017 ones. A bunch of Vokey wedges and a Scotty putter. So nothing, no Miras or nothing too flashy. But again, they all just misbehave. So
yeah.
Hey, 2 irons coming for some stingers off the tee.
Exactly. Yeah, if you play hockey, you hit it steep anyway, so you might as well, right?
Very true.
So where was the then tell us about, we mentioned the genesis into golf, but where was it for you in terms of finding out about Restoration Club? How did that come about with the connection to that?
Sure. Through Jeff. So I actually kind of have a funny connection to Jeff. So all of my family is from here in Los Angeles in terms of extended family and stuff too. My aunt and uncle moved up to Tacoma in like 95 or 96, something like that. And my cousin was working for Ording Fire Department, which also by chance, Jeff worked for Ording Fire Department as volunteers. And I probably had met Jeff like once or twice at that point, just in passing. Don't remember it. And then like the total Instagram algorithm thing, it starts feeding me, because that was when he was posting a lot of, landscape stuff a long time ago. So we were following each other because of that. And all of a sudden it was like, I saw that him and Spenny followed each other, and I went, do you know my cousin Spencer? And he's like, yeah, dude, I worked with Spencer. So long way of answering the question, but basically it's through Jeff, is probably the best way of getting that grounding. So following Jeff, and then just kind of like obviously paying attention to all his golf stuff. And then all of a sudden, hey, what is this, Restoration Club thing? What are we trying to do here? And then just looking into that and, really kind of hitting home with that, just based on our lives and all of that. So, yeah, long-winded answer for a short question, but just kind of happenstance. It's one of those funny things,
Yeah, it's cool because like we feel like all roads always stem from Jeff, but they also like branch and spread out and kind of meet in different ways across this community. So it's really cool to even hear how the beginning starts. It's kind of wild that you guys had cross paths like casually. It's pretty cool piece.
Yeah.
Love
yeah.
That.
Small world, very small world.
Without a doubt. This is totally side. This is probably edited out. What's Spencer's last name?
Black.
I just want to make sure it wasn't the Spencer we knew. I was just had to go in there. I was like, Spencer Getz, what's going on here?
No.
That's cool, man. I love that. When we really have this community that we care so much about when it comes around golf and faith and connection and community, the stories of the beginnings are important, because you don't really have much of a growth future if you don't have a basis. And so we're excited about even hearing how everybody kind of jumps into it, whether it was day one as Danny's co-founder, or at the first event that they ever held, and I show up and I just said, I remember telling my wife, I've got to be a part of this. This is unbelievable. And that was after spending 5 hours with these guys. I'm like, it's a wrap. Let's go. What are we doing? and
instant,
trying to push it
brain.
as hard as possible.
Yep.
Yeah, it's because it isn't just that golf is life changing or only that community is, but truthfully, we believe, and it's a fact that like God and faith is life changing. And when that happens, it's like you have such a different way of processing the world and being a part of the good, and bringing that into the world is really a big thing we're called to. Is how can we be better stewards of not only money, but also our time and our talents, and use those things for good. Kind of like what you said, even what you do with the Evans Scholars, like that's a great thing to give to people, because it's just a way to kind of make a better impact and a stronger way in the world.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Totally.
Troy, I'm always curious to ask whether it's, been in the last couple of years or so, or even what it looked like before the past couple of years, as we always talk about building community using the game, whether it's, hanging out with two guys at a Dodgers game, they're also in the game of golf, but kind of creating those connections that Ryan is speaking to. I guess in this season of life, how would you define like what brotherhood looks like for you? And like, how do you pursue that yourself? Because I feel like whatever your response may be, there could be some other people listening that are kind of thinking, but like, that's what I want. How does that look for me, and how do I dive into that?
Yeah, I would say, obviously like you said, it changes in every season of life, but I feel like through golf, through all of that kind of stuff, if you kind of allow yourself just to be vulnerable, and that's even as simple as like, I've met some of my best friends by, joining like a no laying up roost. You know what I mean? Like, just kind of like throwing yourself into semi uncomfortable situations. But again, it's like we're kind of talking about, like, you have the prerequisite of golf. So it's like, we can be totally different people in the scheme of life. We can not believe anything the same, but like, you want to golf and I want to golf, and we both have some connection. So like I said, like a roost or a restoration club or anything, you can all of a sudden start to find these really cool connections. And then at that point, that's where you can make those connections be stronger. If you want to, if there is a friendship that blossoms from that, and then lead from that, additionally, like, and have hard conversations, have big conversations, have dumb conversations, and sit around and laugh all the time.
It can happen in 4 to 5 hours, huh?
Yeah. I mean, so, being able to do that. And then, I mean, I think using golf, using photography, using all of these things, and just allowing myself to become a part of these communities just through osmosis, like not trying to force my way in, not trying to do anything like that. Just, there's an opportunity there. Let's go do it. It's an event that I'm free. Let's go play in it. I'm not going to pick who I want to play with. Let's play with whoever. Maybe that person's in my wedding down the line. It doesn't matter, and I have a few friends that probably will be in my wedding because of that. You know what I mean? So it's pretty wild when you kind of step back and look at that. So yeah, it's just a cool tool in reality, if you kind of look at it that way, to be able to meet other men, because we're not great at being vulnerable and meeting people that we don't want to meet, all of that kind of stuff. And now, you can do it pretty easily, using this little internet thing and finding some people. I mean, I always tell people too, like, you find a photographer you like, go ask him questions. I mean, go, Jeff will obviously talk to anybody. I'll talk to anybody. Jordan will talk to anybody, whatever, go reach out to people. You never know what they're going to say. They might surprise you. They probably will surprise you.
Yeah. Well, it's funny. We were, our last episode with Brandon Wolf, he was talking about like intentional community is often created just by taking that first uncomfortable step. Like you said, you joined a roost, you didn't know anybody. I'm just going to go join it. And I'm just going to be a part of it and doing that. Sometimes we have to get uncomfortable. And when we get to that moment, it's like, okay, this is actually wasn't as bad as I thought it would be. And this is actually, it ends up being the best thing possible you could have done, because you not only did it work for you, but it also opened the door for other people to have that avenue where maybe they're not taking that step yet, but they see you do it and they're like, oh, I can go talk to this guy because he's just jumping in. That's cool.
Yeah. Cool. I have a funny super tangent, but at Women's LA Open at Riv, I'd never met Brandon yet personally, like in person. We'd followed each other for a while. So he was on a tee box, and it's like start of the day. I walk over, hey Brandon, Troy Knight. He's like, dude, so good to see you. You know, this, that, and the other. And then he's like, dude, I have to go to the bathroom so bad. Can you watch my camera for me? And he's, you know, basically again, like haven't talked to this, met this person in person. He's like, will you watch this thing that's worth, you know, multiple cars for a few minutes while I go take care of something? I'm like, absolutely, dude. So that, again, just to speak to the community, if you reach out to people, you kind of know them already, it makes those kinds of things a little easier.
I love it. That's so good. That's so good.
I love too, Troy. I feel like whether it's with you or other people that we've talked with, and I'm sure, you know, as is the case for everybody, there's a goal of enjoying the game and actually getting better at the game. But very rarely do I feel like we talk to people about scores and you know, how good they're really getting. And I feel like, you know, I know you, but don't know you super, super well. And so even to that, and I feel like I get the sense that like you are one of those guys that can use the game for being purposeful to kind of create community, create good hangs. And it's not always just about performance, which I think is a key thing and kind of the way that we approach the game too.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I've cared before. I probably cared too much before. I have at certain points, you know, a long time ago, thankfully, been the dude that, you know, breaks clubs over their leg like an idiot. And thankfully I really haven't done that in quite a while. I had a buddy that was a swing coach of mine. And I think at one point I had like this dumb little outburst over like a bladed wedge and turn around, just, you know, no, again, just completely unwarranted, just dumb. And he just like gave me this look of just like, dude, you're dumb. You're an idiot. And then he ended up actually passing away, I think a year after that. And since then it was just like, yeah, dude, what did I care about? Like, again, and I think as like gnarly, you know, again, gnarly because Mitch passed away, but like part of like the realization is just kind of like, I wasn't paying attention to hanging out with Mitch. I was paying attention to me, you know, and just like my own dumb success because I spent $80 to play a bad golf course and I was mad about it. Like, you know, and I really, since then, it's just kind of like, I'll go have fun, man. Every once in a while, you get frustrated. I'll play a lot of match play. Yeah, it sucks to be down, you know, but for the most part, just try and have fun. And especially like if it's not match play, I'm probably going to be the guy that cares the least, you know, in reality. And I'm going to be trying to play the fastest because I'm also going to have a camera in my hand trying to, you know, do other things. So
that's a good perspective.
Yeah, it's like, it doesn't matter. Just hang out, have fun. Like you said, 4 hours with somebody, you can learn a hell of a lot about them, you know, and use that.
Yeah. And there's something powerful about not only learning about them, but learning about yourself too, right? Like when you're self-aware and you pay attention to what people are saying, you're watching and you're just being a part of it. It's like it's a growth process even as an individual. So not do we only get the connection back to that person, but we're learning about ourselves through the process. And whether we figure out we are dumb for snapping clubs, because those things aren't free, man. What are we doing? Jeez, like what are we up to? And we would have bladed a $1,000 club versus a $5 club too. It wouldn't matter. It would just be like, it happens. And the more we're around the game, we see like, guess what? We see some pros blade a few shots here and there. Like, what just happened? And it shocks everyone. But you know what? It's golf. It's the tiniest little white ball with a barely much bigger head than on that club face. The fact that it ever goes straight and far is shocking. So anytime it happens, congratulations on the miracle that is a golf shot.
It's chance. It's 100% chance. Yeah.
Troy, I gotta ask whether you know, beyond World Series, beyond LACC, Genesis, is there a bucket list item you hope to shoot one day?
Definitely like to check off a major whenever that will happen. I'm gonna let that happen. Obviously, there are some that are a bigger cherry than others, but in reality, I think just shooting a major, any of them, would just be a cool. And again, men's or women's, I really don't care. I unfortunately didn't have an opportunity this year while it was in my backyard for the women's, but at the same time, it worked out, like I was able to do some other cool things right around that same time. So again, just some of those like God things where you just kind of go, well, I want this, but I didn't get it, this, that, and the other. But shooting a major would be it. And then, I mean, Genesis, like I'm so blessed to shoot Genesis. Riv is my favorite place on the face of the planet. Like,
love to get there sometime. It looks incredible,
dude. It's unreal. And that tournament, I mean, again, it's like, it's cool. It feels kind of like a major. It's not a major, obviously, but like all the pros just have so much, they revere it so much. So getting to do that annually, like if I just did that for the rest of my life, I'd honestly be so content. I'm really so thankful for that.
Troy, I'm going to ask you to pick a favorite baby. Is there a top 3 favorite photos you've shot before? Maybe we could even do some magic after the fact and throw these up on the video.
Top 3 favorite photos. What's funny about like favorite photos is some of them mean things to you and they're not that good of a photo. Some of them, don't. Probably my favorite photo I've ever taken was with Jeff. Ryan, you were actually on FaceTime. We were at Pebble. At that point, we were at Spanish. And the bagpiper came out and we got to witness that. That was pretty heavy for me. My best friend since I was 3, he took his life in 23. But he played the bagpipes. And the last time I had heard the bagpipes were at his funeral. So all of a sudden, just kind of like that happening. I mean, I kind of knew we were probably going to be there shooting that, but then it was just me. Jeff was back flying the drone over us. I'm following this bagpiper down the fairway at Spanish. Got like just the most gnarly, perfect Monterey golden light and just silhouetted that dude every which way I could. And there's a couple of them where, he just looks like a ghost out there. And it was, shooting through tears kind of thing was pretty gnarly. But that's probably one of those photos. Like I will remember everything about that photo. I'll remember everything about being there. And then I look at that photo and it still makes me, makes my skin just full blown, all your hair
crawling out of your skin. Yeah.
That's good,
man.
It's a power. There is something magical about bagpipes in general. I don't know what it is. I feel like I only know one song on bagpipes I ever hear, but there are more. It's just I always think of one. I remember back to a Jeff story too. We're at Arcadia Bluffs in 24. We're on the 12th tee, and it's like right along Lake Michigan. It's the most beautiful. It's unbelievable.
Yep.
And all of a sudden, up on the hill, he comes. Here comes the bagpipe guy, and he's playing it right as we're about to tee off. And I'm like, I just lost it. I couldn't. I'm like, I need to dry these things out. My eyes are just like swelling up. I'm like, I can't do this right now. It was just for me being in my home state and just a lot of other. I felt like I was putting a lot of things to kind of like having a funeral myself for some things in my life. But that moment was such a beautiful time that was remembered, and just because of hearing that sound with this game is such a perfect bond.
It's a very powerful instrument. Like I said, John played them since he was a kid, and so growing up, like it was cool because it would take over the whole house, right? Like we'd be in the backyard and it would take over the whole backyard. It felt like it took over the whole city. He'd play him at church. He would go into the amphitheater. It'd be like me, him, and maybe my brother or his sister, and we're just hanging out, and he's playing Amazing Grace at church, and it's just like, all right, this is cool. And then again, just kind of everything that transpires, and all of a sudden, here we are. And this dude's just killing it, walking down the fairway at Pebble. It's just like, holy cow. I can't even look right now. I'm just shooting, having this full blown moment.
Finger down, trigger down.
Yeah, literally just like, just weeping. But again, I think those are the things that like cool. Being at Pebble's really cool. I'll remember that 1,000 times more than, being at Pebble. So.
And while that guy has probably maybe played his bagpipes hundreds of times in that same setting in that course, like it very much feels like to what you're describing, like you were the guy to be there that day shooting that and to have that moment.
Yeah. Yeah. Special. Just special to me.
Yeah.
Again, like you said, he's done it a million times. I have friends that have photos of that same guy, and that's all great. But like those ones are mine, and they mean a lot. I got to show them to his parents. They lost it, stuff
Love
like
it.
that. So.
Yeah, beautiful. Love that. Divine appointment. Love
Yeah,
it.
exactly.
Well, man, I hope I didn't steal your thunder, but if I did, that's all right. But we can't get you out of here without asking our famous static question and asking you, what is your favorite memory on a golf course not involving a golf club?
I would say that's probably one of them. But even then, actually, I'll be relevant since we're just past the Open Championship. So this past year at Riv, again, they give us a lot of freedom, and so like Maddie Alward and I, we basically would just kind of always like every night go out and wander around sunset. Again, it's just like you're walking around this hollowed ground in reality. At the prettiest time, we had a perfect day, and it was Pro-Am day. And Ryan Fox's group was the last group on Pro-Am. He was unfortunately stuck behind Tom Kim, who his group was 2 holes behind. And so we got to 6, which is the par 3 that has the bunker in the middle of the green. And it was so backed up that he's just like, he just starts hitting shots around the green. And me and Maddie are just kind of like hanging out there, taking some photos, but then like we all just kind of started hanging out and talking and all of that. And again, just kind of those memories of like wandering around Riv in the evening, and then getting to interact with that guy being so cool, and then watching him win that Open Championship last weekend. Like that was a neat experience because he's probably one of the ones that I've interacted with that was just the nicest. And like, again, those guys are doing a job, and he literally looked at us and just like, dude, I love this stuff. And he's just chipped these saucy little like nippy wedges over the bunker, trying to play it off of banks, like asking us where he should hit it from. And it's 6 p.m. in California, and it's 70 degrees in February. And,
nice.
It was like, this is perfect. So yeah, I'd probably say that's one of them outside of the bagpipe story.
Yeah.
That's usually when those guys show you they're built a little different in those moments.
Yeah. Yeah, like chipping off of a green. Yeah, I ain't doing that.
Nah. The superintendent does not want to see me coming with a wedge onto a green. I'll tell you that.
And shout out Matty Word Up if he's listening to this anywhere. Shout out Charlotte boy. Get on home and get around in.
Let's get it going.
Yeah. He's one of the good ones.
Yes, 100%. It's like you said, it's kind of where we've evolved in this conversation, is that it's all around good community, good people, good things. And I mean, it's the whole point of why we do this in general. There's a reason we tell stories. There's a reason we capture them, is so the world can know that there's a lot of good going on in a time when it feels like everybody seems to be down about something. But no, there's Ryan Fox is winning, man. Like, it's so cool. Like, it's such, and by the way, when you said that about him, I was like, you know what? I felt like the entire Sunday afternoon was built around everybody saying how good of a guy this was. It wasn't just like, what a great golfer, which he was. He did something amazing. But everybody just talked about what a good person that is. And they never said, no one had a story like, oh, that Ryan Fox, man. Remember that one time at a pub in Ireland? You're like, no, I don't.
Yeah.
Like, it's
well,
crazy.
Especially too, just like, I think his attitude was the thing that was like the most apparent. Was, he gets the worst break on that par 3 in that bunker. And I mean, he like just walked up to him and was like, okay, I'll make bogey, and like, and kind of when we're talking about like life and all of that kind of stuff, is like, that was the echo chamber of that. Like, here you go. This is why golf reflects life. Like, and, are you going to walk up and just deal with what you got? Are you going to trust God in it? Or are you going to, fight him? Are you gonna be mad? He could have walked up and thrown his hands up and just been like, this. And he's like, no, I'll take care of it. Let's do it.
Yeah. And he did it in like 11 seconds too. So that's what's cool about
that. Helps too.
Like,
yeah.
But
that's a different story. That's just,
well, that's a whole, I mean, even the idea of doing it like on a good pace is very important, and it comes to a life lesson, because sometimes we'll second guess, we double guess, we overanalyze, we come down. I feel like men do this a lot too. Like we're thinking of all the factors that play out. We're contingency planners. And not often are we just like, let's run head first right into it, like William Wallace and Braveheart, right? It's like, we're going to spend some more time, stand behind the tree, wait a minute until see if it's a little bit safe. Oh, it's okay. It seems good. But I think the idea of being intentional and getting right into it and knowing, and already been, I have a saying in our house, my wife laughs all the time because I say, let's stay ready so we don't have to get ready. Like I already have bags packed. I'm ready on it. So it's the same thing. Like walking through life, I'm just going to stay ready, and stay ready doesn't mean that I'm prepared for all the ups and downs. It just means that inside I'm okay with whatever the outcome is, and that we've just got God with us. And I think that's a way to go. And so that way you're not destroyed by the lows and you're not inflated by the highs. You just get to exist in a world that you're given time. And so it's so good.
Yeah.
I was going to say too, I saw an interview, I think it was today, from Fox himself, just saying like, yeah, I do play fast, but like that way nothing bad creeps in if I can get up there and pick my shot and hit the shot that I need to. But Ryan, to your point, I feel like that's also a lot that we go through on a day-to-day basis, and what we encounter as men too. If we sit too long with something, we're going to let something creep in. And as we've said, if you know God, you also have to remind yourself you're already equipped for that moment too.
Yeah.
So
yeah, letting not letting go of control, but just not in a bad way, I guess. But just being fine with the outcome. Understanding like God's got a bigger plan. I need to trust Him. I need to trust myself. And just go. And I think again back to all the photography stuff, the community stuff, golf, all of it. Like I think that's the biggest thing that I've learned over probably the past 10 years. I used to be such a control freak. Like I want to make sure that I know what's going to happen, this, that, and the other. And it's like, now, let's just figure it out. That we'll not careless, but like, let's go attack it head on and let the chips fall where they may. Let's find out. Kind of that's how a lot of these opportunities have happened for me. Asking questions, putting myself out there a little bit, and then getting opportunities that I probably wasn't ready for, and then just trying to show up and be undeniable. And with doing that, like, again, trusting God that He's going to give me the tools to do that. And then also, the peace through that, like through that moment, because those are scary. It's like going into new jobs and all that kind of stuff. Like, it's not fun, but there's something on the other side of it. It's not impossible. So
it's really good.
Good word. Love it. I love it, man. Listen, Troy, I mean, it was an absolute pleasure. It is still an absolute pleasure. Just to hear you kind of dialogue life, and your journey has been such a cool one. And you are genuinely the Ryan Fox of the Restoration Club. You're such a good guy. That's what you are. But it has,
let's go.
but it has been like, I think even just walking through this as we've gone through for this hour is like just picking up little nuggets I'm going to carry with me. And I'm hoping all the guys out there listening, all the people that hear this across their streams kind of can pull things away to go, okay, that's something a nugget I can carry with me, because there are so many wisdom-filled pieces I think that have been said today. And we're just thankful for your time, sharing your sunshine of the West Coast with us. And the rest of this country. We just appreciate everything that you are and what you are as a friend and who you are in this community, man. Appreciate you.
Yeah. No, I appreciate you guys having me on, and love everything that you guys stand for. Happy to support it. Happy to scream it from the mountaintops. Main bucket hat I wear, Restoration Club bucket hat.
Let's go.
Because it breathes well, moisture wicking.
That's right.
But I'm always stoked whenever people ask about it. So it's cool to point them in your guys' direction.
And we got to get you out to a bigger hang here, hopefully soon.
Absolutely. We'll have some conversations. Don't worry.
Yes.
No doubt.
There's some things cooking.
Yes. Awesome. Well, good. Well, thank you again, Troy, for everything. For those of you who don't know, you can get Troy on Instagram easily. He's got amazing stuff. Give me your ad again, Troy.
It's going to be my name. So Troy_A_Knight. And that's Knight with a K. Make sure you spell that correctly. That's pretty much it. Yeah. Instagram, website, troy-knight.com. Pretty easy.
Check him out. Amazing work. And just even a better guy behind the lens. So, Troy, we appreciate you. And we'll catch up with you next time.
Appreciate it. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, man. All right, Ryan, man. Season 4, episode 6. That was Troy Knight. Man, I know we haven't known him too long, but man, that guy just seems like a great hang to me.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like a brother every single time I've talked to him. It's always either been DMs, texts. This is the first time verbal, visual kind of conversations, but it felt like I'm just hanging out with my brother, which is an absolute Restoration Club vibe. Like it just seems like that's how we navigate, which is just how God's a part of this thing, which is proof.
But super talented guy, extremely creative, and honestly, I didn't know where he was going to take us, but I loved probably a favorite part to me was hearing about his favorite photo he's ever taken and what it meant to him.
Yeah, I think we all know that bagpipes mean something and they just have a special meaning. And just to hear him share that is such a beautiful part. And I love the fact that that photo was shared with the family. I think is really a really, really powerful piece of how it works.
No doubt, man. Well, another great one, guys. We hope you enjoyed it. We got more coming your way, but always love telling these stories of other guys integrated into the Restoration Club. We know there's a lot more out there. We'd love to tell your story too. But keep following along. Jump into our Discord channel. Follow along on Instagram, as always, at restoration_club. Check us out on our site at restorationclub.co. And Ryan, as always, my man, keep swinging.
Keep swinging.